Okay, just pulled up to another gas station. I'm gonna try to use the fourth card, which is my other debit card. See what happens. Except that if it doesn't work out, then I'll find another solution. Maybe borrow somebody's phone. Who knows? But people are pretty helpful. You know, if somebody walked up to me and said, I have 4 credit cards and none of them are working. I'm driving that car. I'm this guy. Can we do an exchange? Some euros for some Norwegian krona? Yeah, of course I would. Of course I would. I love helping people who are in those situations. Okay, everything worked out. I went in and said, hey, I'm having trouble with my cards. Can we check to see if this one's going to work? And so I just gave him my regular credit card, my backup card to the one that's been canceled. And it worked this time. Still a Shell gas station, 10 miles down the road. This time it worked. So, sometimes the definition of insanity isn't doing the same thing again and expecting different results. Sometimes it's the definition of perseverance. It's hard to know the difference between insanity and perseverance sometimes. I will certainly vouch for that. And I guess I'm talking about this now. But what is that quality that we have to have in order to know the difference between insanity and perseverance? You know, Thomas Edison, right? That whole story with the light bulb, and he tried, I don't know how many countless different ways of making a light bulb and 10,000 different filaments or something like that. And he finally got it. The lesson there is that if you want to do something great, you've got to just keep at it. Guess who didn't make the history books? Everybody who tried something 1,000 times and always failed and then died. So, I think the deeper question is, how do you know when it's time to let go? No one can tell you when your perseverance in a relationship has become insanity. Everybody has their own threshold, and everybody has to reach that threshold. I have a friend of mine who was going through some relationship issues, and they were rough, and from the outside it was like, dude, you need to get the hell out of that. Like, that's getting to the point of being dangerous for you. And he said, I know that in my head, but I need to be certain, like all the way inside of myself, so that when I look back on this, I'll know there's nothing more I could have done. And I will move forward with total peace of mind, because I will know I will have exhausted all of the possibilities. I will know I did everything I could to make that work. I had a lot of respect for that. It's an amazing thing to know about yourself, to say, yeah, I know I'm hitting myself in the thumb with a hammer right now. I know there's blood everywhere. But there's something inside of me that's not convinced that this is the wrong way to do it. I'm going to need to try again. So how do you know the difference between perseverance and insanity? You have to make up your own mind, but there are some ways to whittle down your focus, to tighten the spectrum a lot, so that you have a tighter guideline for knowing the difference. And one thing is knowing your motivations. Why am I doing this? Why do I keep trying this? Why am I persevering at this? Is it fear? Is it love? Do I really care? Or is it ego? Am I afraid to let go? And likewise, why do I want to let go of this? Is it because I have a peace about it? Is it because I'm afraid of sticking around or bad at sticking around? Is it because I'm frustrated? If I'm frustrated, why am I frustrated? When I'm able to answer these questions clearly and really understand myself, it is so much easier to know when it's time to move on and when I want to stick things out. And sometimes it's not about achieving a certain result. As you probably know by now, I'm a big fan of making decisions no matter what the result is. And sometimes, like my friend, we have to persevere at something we know is going to fail. long enough to convince the whole of us that it's time to let go. And sometimes it's a matter of having clarity within ourselves about our own motivations and our own fears. And once we understand clearly what we're doing, why we're doing it, the path forward becomes more clear. There's a lot of people out there that are naturally gifted in certain ways, or they've had luck on their side that is responsible for their success, but they claim it's perseverance or following your heart or all the other bullshit that people say. And that's where narrative comes back again. You can't trust the narrative that people give you because they don't even really know the reasons for their failures or success most of the time. And that makes the world an even more uncertain place to live in. But somehow it returns us to sobriety and fearlessness. Somehow it brings us back to making decisions from some internal motivation as opposed to some external result. It disassembles the formula once again because we keep building formulas and then they keep getting destroyed. Because it's very rare that I've seen a formula that is designed to get you in touch with your true self and make decisions from who you are. Formulas are almost always about how to get what you want in the end, how to make sure that the end result is as close to what you want as possible. How to improve your odds of success, success being an end result. I don't like living that way. It feels false. And I know that if I get to the end of my life and I say, I picked the right formulas and they brought me success, I'll feel like such an asshole. I'll feel like a coward. And say, why didn't I just follow my heart? Why didn't I just take the time to get in touch with who I am, to face my fears, to open the doors that I've kept locked shut, to face the dragons, and to let the cards fall where they may?